Good morning. Good morning. Come on in here. Hit your share and subscribe button. Let me know that you're in here. Mary Dean Esquire at thewallstreetlawyer.com. Coming to you live. Okay. So give it a second. Let me see. I just had this one up. Trying to get started on on Instagram. They make us do it separate. So come on in here. Drop your B1 in the chat. Because this is the channel where we put Black people first. Okay, X is not going. I'm live on Instagram. Oh, okay, it is going live on Instagram, I think. Okay, we got Max Smith in the house. Thank you for joining, dropping your B1. Because we put Black people first, and we're going to talk about Kamala Harris. There's been so much going on, guys. I know. I feel like I should have started today's live with some meditation music. But it's just an interesting time to be alive. Interesting time to be an American. Okay, I think it is streaming over there. Interesting time to be alive. Interesting time to be an American. It's just life is interesting, and life, what they say, life be lifing, and we have President Joe Biden has dropped out of the race, and Vice President Kamala Harris, which I said this on a response on someone's post the other day on Instagram. I suggested back then that they should have ran with her from the beginning, and a female responded in the they would never do that. They would never. That's impossible. So basically we should be supporting Biden. And I said, I do have that, a picture with President Barack Obama. So I don't know if I see things as far-fetched. Actually, let me go and share my screen. Share screen. Yep, because I got it pinned on my Instagram. And so for those of you who don't follow me, go follow me on the gram, okay? Follow me on the gram. And so, let's get into this. 5 facts about VP Kamala Harris that the internet got wrong. I pulled up this article at the Austin American Statesman. And the first one is Kamala Harris Black? Claim Kamala Harris is not Black. Is Kamala Harris Black? And I'm curious to know, what do you guys think? Do you guys what do you think? Is she Black? Is she Black enough? President Biden said on his campaign trail, if you don't vote for me, you ain't Black. And so I'm curious to know, how do you guys weigh in on this topic? Let me know, what do you guys think? Hello, good morning. Max Smith says, I love your glasses. Well, they love you back. What do you guys think? Is Kamala Harris Black? Kamala Harris has served as the country's first Black and South Asian woman to be elected vice president. She has an Indian mother and a Jamaican father. On the campaign trail, Harris has worked to appeal to Black leaders and voters through conversations at barbershops and historically Black colleges and universities. It is interesting to note that she did attend Howard University and HBCU and was a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, which mobilized behind her, and you could be spotted at rallies. I also heard through the grapevine that the way that we're going to support, the way that we're showing support for Kamala Harris, that she's Black. I'm reading someone's comment. So D-Mac says, no, she's not. Why D-Mac? You got to give me more. Okay. She's mixed outside and white inside. Okay. Explanation. She's mixed outside and white inside. So mixed outside. Yes, because her mother is South Asian and her father is Black, which in the Black community, I don't know about you growing up, but those people, we always considered them to be Black. Uh, and I think that the fact to me that she's mixed outside and white inside. Interesting. I think the whole concept of race is interesting in America to begin with, because all of it is a social construct when you think about it. And at the end of the day, they're all our children. Oh, but don't let me get into that because the Black man was the original man. But I just said it like, what is Black? That's a good question. What is Black? A social construct. A social construct, right? Something that America created to keep us divided, but I digress. Let's get into these facts. Oh my gosh, y'all making me get so deep this morning. Okay, so that she's Black. She's actually mixed. She's part South Asian and she's part South her father is Jamaican, her mother is South Asian. I think that's what it said. But she went to an HBCU and she pledged the first HBCU. Okay, we got another comment from Loki Dark Song. Harris on several occasions stated that she was not Black but East Indian. Her father is East Indian Jamaican. She knows zero about Black culture, which has this once again demonstrated by herself. Well, she went to HBCU and she pledged a historically Black sorority. So that is the culture. And I understand the mix, it's so much rhetoric out there. All right, Dennis Spraggins, one of my favorite followers. Shout out to Dennis Spraggins. Yes, Vice President Kamala Harris is the fairest. She identifies as unapologetically Black with every fiber of her being, the best of both by being multicultural. Yes, most of us have different gene pools within our DNA. Great point. Thank you. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. So I'm so glad that you said that because I appear different. I came up very pro Black, very militant, a proud graduate of Thurgood Marshall School of Law. So I've always been, just extremely leaning into my Black power, right? Despite as what others may try to say that I'm fair skinned, but you see I'm chocolate. Anyway, I digress. There's that. But my oldest sister has married a white man. And honestly, I've seen within their union, I always jokingly say that it's the combination of white supremacy and Black power, which got them to be able to create within their love of respect and 30-year relationship, build a multi-million-dollar business that they carry on their back. And I just feel like it is the best of both worlds. And so maybe Kamala Harris has that within her and the ability to bring both worlds together. There is that possibility. But what I do know is that, thank you, Dennis. And my podcast, I really love this podcast. My podcast loves you back. Thank you. But what I do know is that united we stand, divided we fall. And whatever, as I study religion, I will tell you this is interesting. As I study religion, the thing that I understood about religion was that in its totality, when you study all the religion and you put them all together, you really get the entire story. And then you can get to come to some truth, because God is known by many names. So, but I feel like they've always had that one drop rule. That's what a lot of people go back to. That has been a part of our culture. Mostly. Okay, so I had to, let's see. The one drop rule was a legal principle of racial classification, which Black is a racial classification and a construct of America, right? The one-drop rule was a legal principle of racial classification that was prominent in the 20th century United States. It asserted that any person with even one ancestor of Black ancestry, one drop of Black blood, is considered Black, Negro, or colored in historical terms. It is an example of hypodescent. Don't know what that means. The automatic assignment of children of a, okay, there it is. The automatic assignment of children of a mixed union between different socioeconomic, economic, or ethnic groups to a group with lower status, regardless of proportion of ancestry in different groups. Wow. Here's what the concept became codified into the law of some U.S. states in the early 20th century. It was associated with the principle of invisible Blackness that developed after the long history of racial interaction in the South, which had included the hardening of slavery as a racial caste system and later segregation. Before the rule was outlawed by the Supreme Court in the Loving v. Virginia decision of 1967, it was used to prevent interracial marriages and, in general, to deny rights and equal opportunities and uphold white supremacy, the one-drop rule. And so it was made into law in some states in the United States. And whew, take a breath, because when you think about the one drop rule, and when you think about when I put myself in the mind of slavery and what it was and what our ancestors actually went through in the United States of America, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. And it's humbling, and to have been alive and walked the walk of Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Assata Shakur and even Angela Davis for that matter. I mean, it is mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing. But let me get into these facts, because I said I was going to get into these facts and debunk them. And so we could talk about whether or not she's Black, whether or not, the one drop rule was outlawed. But, I have family who are of mixed race, and they are Black. They are exposed to Black culture, but they're mixed. And I guess, pause. I'm an optimist. Let me start there. And so I'm always going to see the glass half full, and I'm always going to find the silver lining and the rainbow at the end of the storm. And so with that being said, I like to think that maybe just maybe, like I said earlier, maybe her mixed race is what America needs. Maybe her mixed background of being Black and white, it don't matter if you're Black, or maybe her mixed race is what will bring all of the races together. I don't know. What do you think about that? But I'm an optimist. And so I just like to think, we get closer and closer to equality, and the last will be first and the first will be last. And some of our greatest leaders, need I say Malcolm X, need I say Martin Luther King? Well, Martin Luther King was a little bit more brown complex. Rosa Parks, Thurgood Marshall School of Law, were very mulatto, Negroes of their day that could pass. And I think they were Negroes of their day that used their ability to pass and get in circles, and their proximity to white supremacy, in a sense, to advance the cause of their Black side of their family, the Black side in the blood, the Black side. Huey P. Newton. How could I forget with the Black Panthers? That's right, Mackenzie. Huey P. Newton with the Black Panther Party. You're right. And so, yes, some of the mulatto people, Malcolm X, unapologetically Black. How are you going to take away someone's Blackness and proximity to Blackness? Because I guarantee you, if they get pulled over by some white supremacist, police officers, KKK, you go through the same thing. You're living the whole Black experience, right? And one thing I like to point out, when you think about a lot of Black women who do date white people who are married outside of their race, they tend to have, exactly in her case, Harris dated Willie Brown after he separated from his wife. That's fact number 2. Claim Harris launched her career by having an affair with the married man, California politician Willie Brown. In 1994, Harris began a romantic relationship with California politician Willie Brown. Willie Brown looked black, y'all. Let me show you this picture of Willie Brown. And so, okay. Let's see, share this tab instead. Look at this picture of Willie Brown. Okay, Harris, she dated Willie Brown after he separated from his house. Look at Willie. So don't say she didn't give no brothers a chance. Look at Willie Brown, y'all. Look at Willie Brown mustache. Okay, so apparently she only dated him after he was separated from his wife. Fact number 3, Harris and Montel Williams' relationship was monogamous. That's the fact. The claim is that Inside Edition clip proves Harris was a side piece to television host Montel Williams. Harris and TV host Montel Williams shared a brief relationship in 2001. Nearly 20 years later, speculations about the relationship arose when Inside Edition captured a video of Williams holding hands with Harris and another woman in 2019. The clip sparked rumors about an untraditional relationship among the three, but the other woman was later confirmed to be Williams' daughter, Ashley. Montel took to X, formerly Twitter, to respond to the rumors. And Kamala Harris and I briefly dated about 20 years ago when we were both single. So what? I have great respect for Senator Harris. I have to wonder if the same stories about her dating history would have been written if she were a male candidate. Ooh, okay. Let me see. So that's another one we're debunking. Oh, that's fine. Make sure you guys hit the share and subscribe button. Okay, somebody says we got a comment. She was working her way up in politics. Okay, that's funny. Well, as a realist, I don't see the glass half full or half empty. I just see the glass for what it is. Okay, that's a good point. Loki, Dark Song. Well, as a realist, I don't see the glass half full or half empty. I just see the glass for what it is. I see, well, part of it too is, it's not just, a lot of people are realists, but I believe that you really do create your own reality. That is the law of attraction. I do talk about the laws of the universe if you don't know what those are. And the law of attraction is the main one for manifestation. And the third, my book is broken up into 3 parts. In the third part of the book, I do talk about the laws of the universe, and we talk about the law of attraction. And the law of attraction is that like attracts like. It's the science behind why prayer works. And so it's basically that your thoughts become your reality. And so I don't try to focus on the reality that other people have created. I really do try to focus on creating my own reality. I focus on trying to create my own reality. And so that's another reason why I'm an optimist, because everywhere I look, I see God. And if I see God everywhere, then I can't help but see the glass half full. That is my theory. That is my philosophy. Take that with you. Do with that as you will, as they say. Okay, so fact number 4. Kamala Harris is a natural born citizen of the United States. The claim is that Harris is not eligible to run for president. Harris, the former U.S. Senator from California and the state's Attorney General, Harris is a U.S. citizen, now age 59. She was born in Oakland, California. That's another thing. Girl was born in Oakland on October 20th, 1964. While Harris spent some of her teen years in Canada, most of her childhood was spent in the United States. So the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution grants citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States. The Constitution also states a president must be at least 35 years of age, be a natural born citizen, and must have lived in the United States for at least 14 years. Okay, so I do think that she meets all of those qualifications. Girl was born in Oakland. I don't know about you, but to me, it don't get no blacker than that. Okay. And claim number 5, fact 5. Kamala Harris advocates for decriminalizing marijuana. Claim, as California Attorney General, Harris prosecuted and incarcerated a lot of Black men for marijuana-related cases, then held them past their release dates. The claim refers to, but misrepresents, a legal argument made by attorneys for Harris' office. While she was California State Attorney General in 2014, attorneys representing California inmates argued the state was slow to comply with a court order that said nonviolent repeat offenders were to be eligible for parole after serving half their sentence to reduce overcrowding. It is unclear what the claim for 2,000 Black prisoners were affected refers to, while a California Department of Corrections spokesperson told the San Francisco Chronicle in 2019 that 1974 people, that's 1,974 people, were sent to state prisons for hashish and marijuana convictions between 2011 and 2016. He did not say how many were Black. Though criticized in the past for aggressively prosecuting weed-related crimes, Harris began loosening her stance on the issue while in the U.S. Senate. Now, as a presidential nominee, she has re-examined her approach. During her time in the White House, the vice president has been an even stronger advocate for ending any cannabis prohibition and restoring or repairing the harms that it has caused than the president has been, in many ways, has been a real leader on this issue, particularly as it relates to criminal justice reform. Okay, well, I found this actually somebody sent this to me. Shout out to a friend of mine. Let me see. Okay. So let me see. Let me start over from the beginning. We're going to go share this tab instead.
Kamala Harris, for years, I've been told, hey, she put thousands of Black men in jail unjustly for marijuana charges. And I was like, dang, that's crazy. So for years, I didn't like her because of that. Then last night, because I was bored, I sat down and said, well, how many thousands? 10, 20, 30,000 dudes? So from 2004 to 2010, Kamala Harris was the district attorney for San Francisco. And in that time, she had several convictions for marijuana charges. Her total amount was 1,956 people. And you might say to yourself, that's not thousands. I know, because even less actually went to jail. The number was 45. So for years, we've been told, hey, she's locking up Black men left and right unjustly for weed charges, when in fact, not really. Now, I will say, in 2010, when the bill came up for them to legalize weed, she sat on the sidelines. 2016, she did the same. She didn't come forward and speak publicly about it until 2018. So just to give you a little fact checking, Kamala Harris isn't responsible for locking up thousands of Black men for weed. I don't even know where that came from. And I tell you right now, honestly, it came from the internet. Somebody told me, I heard it, I didn't do any research, and I just ran with it. And that's my fault. So hopefully you learn something and you don't do the same. Let's go, Kamala.
That's interesting, guys. That's interesting. So do with that as you will. So that's my time. I'm going to get out of here. Make sure you hit the share and subscribe button if you want to grow your Black-owned business. You want to have a consultation with me. I dropped a link in the chat. You can link to my calendar. Get on my calendar. Let's talk about your business. Let's talk about how you're building up your community. What do you have to offer? What do you have to contribute? I think that she's contributing something to us. I'm an optimist, and when I see her, I do see myself, and so she got my vote. I'm sorry, but I believe in, I'm loyal to my sister, and I think that if we're gonna disagree, we can disagree behind closed doors. But one thing we should learn as a people is just how to stick together. She is a woman. She is a minority. She went to a HBCU. So she got my vote. Marye Dean Esquire here at thewallstreetlawyer.com signing out.